Well, hello and good morning. You're welcome along to Ireland AM on Virgin Media 1.
It's Friday, 20th of September, and as you may have guessed by our titles, today marks our 25th anniversary. Woohoo! Happy birthday to us. We'll have more on that in just a little bit.
Yeah.
First up, though, at 7:15, we're reviewing your Friday morning papers, including warnings from Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah that Israel's latest attacks crossed all red lines.
At 7:35, we're reviewing Atalanta's draw with Arsenal last night's Champions League as we take a look at the world of sport.
And since we're celebrating our silver anniversary at 7:45, we're rewinding 25 years to review our pop culture hits and misses in our first year of ARS. Today we're going to party like it's 1999.
Don't you want to go? Sorry. But that's not all we have in store for our birthday. We'll be celebrating with Pat Short and Mario Rosenstock, as well as this morning stars Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond. And there's a trip to Vegas in store for one loyal Ireland AM viewer.
It's quite the guest list now. Our Wanderley weatherman Deric Hartigan has landed on the next stop of his birthday road trip. He's reached Salt Hill in Galway. What's happening there, Deric?
Yes, good morning, Elaine. Good morning, Martin. We're following our trips from Dublin to Laois, Cork to County Kildare. We've landed down here in Cúnta de Galva and we're arriving in style here in Salt Hill. I'm trying to get out of the car, look. I have balloons, I have it all here this morning to celebrate our 25th birthday. Anyway, we'll be finding out how Ireland AM has impacted local communities here in the West. In fact, we've been blessed with sunshine right across the week and it looks like some lovely sunshine out there once again today. Happy birthday, guys. It's Friday, we've made it.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media 1.
Gurmila Jerfecker Shina Stock Eran Ishka Tommy Beyond Shaw Oborna Tra Cúnta na Galva live here from Salt Hill in County Galway. What a beautiful start here out west here this morning. Coming up a little bit later on, we're going to be catching up with some of the local community here, finding out how Ireland AM has impacted their lives as we celebrate our 25th birthday anniversary today. So that's all coming your way into the next hour in around 8:45. Now Gary Cullen with us at cameras this morning, so let's take a look weather-wise and how it's shaping up for your day ahead. And as I mentioned, what a gorgeous start here. We have a beautiful sunrise onto the east coast as well. Patchy mist and fog trailing around out there this morning, so do dip in and out of your fog lights if you need them, especially around inland and sheltered areas, but holding pretty steady and bright with some nice sunshine on the cards. Now, as we edge our way through the day, once again, we are sucking diesel, I suppose, in terms of that weather, because it is a beautiful one out there today. Now, a little bit of cloud cover across eastern areas, but elsewhere, in fact, that sunshine hanging on with us. Lovely, mild, warm values, and we've been Erwin and Micah, we've been on the pig's back in terms of that bright sunny September weather all week, and it looks like it's hanging on until tomorrow at least, where it will break late into Saturday afternoon. Top values of around 19 to 23 degrees, and into tonight then mainly dry, clear and settled. Once again patchy mist and fog trailing around with overnight lows there back to around 8 to 12 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here in a dry, settled, and what a beautiful start here in Salt Hill in County Galway. We'll be back again live at 7:35. Gadishin Slán.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media 1.
Now we'll have a first look at your morning paper, starting with the Irish Times. Its headline reads, "Cost of living help now main priority of voters." The paper goes on to report that according to their latest poll, help with the cost of living is the #1 priority of voters in advance of the budget.
Ireland central to plans for new NATO electricity cable. That's the front page of the Irish Independent. It writes that Ireland is at the centre of plans for a powerful new transatlantic renewable electricity link aimed at protecting NATO members' energy security.
The Daily Mail leads with new laws to crack down on short-term lets not delivered. It reports that thousands of potential rental homes have been left beyond the reach of tenants because the government has failed to launch its much-lauded register to crack down on short-term lets.
On to the tabloids, and the Mirror opens with "going down but not out." The paper writes that former Assistant Commissioner Pat Leahy has warned that the Kinahan cartel is not finished.
The Star leads with that same story with the headline, "They haven't gone away, you know, except Liam."
And the Herald leads with bombers cachet in hand. It writes that Kinahan cartel boss Thomas Kavanagh planned to give up weapons for reduced sentence.
The Sun opens with ash in transit. It writes that a woman is appealing for her dead sister's remains after they went missing in the post more than 3 years ago.
The Examiner leads with Israeli attacks crossed all red lines. It reports that the leader of the heavily armed Iran-backed Lebanese movement, Hezbollah, said yesterday that the deadly Israeli attacks that blew their radios and pagers crossed all red lines.
And we'll have more on that story up next as we discuss what your Friday papers morning papers are saying. That's next. You're very welcome back to Ireland AM. Now it's time to take a closer look at the stories making headlines this morning. And joining me to discuss is Lauren Boland from the journal.ie and Lorcan Nyhan from the Communications Clinic. Thank you both so much for joining us on the show this morning. And I suppose front and centre in both national and international headlines is the situation in Lebanon at the moment. Can you bring us up to date on that, Lauren?
Yeah, well, so for anyone who is still trying to wrap their head around this story, I suppose on Tuesday, what happened was there was a coordinated simultaneous explosion of devices, like pagers, that members of Hezbollah in Lebanon were using. So essentially explosives had been placed in those devices before they reached the members, and then they were remotely set off. And then on Wednesday, the following day, there was another similar attack involving walkie-talkies. So there's been about 3,000 people injured and around 37 killed, including 2 children. So these were members of Hezbollah carrying the devices, which includes their combatants, but also there were kind of more auxiliary members who were affected, so like in working kind of health settings or administrative roles. And there's been obviously significant international outcry over this. We've seen, leaders around the world very much frightened that this is going to escalate now into an all-out war between Hezbollah in Lebanon and Israel to the south. Lebanon has of course, kind of attributed the responsibility to Israel. As have most analysts, Israel has not yet made any comment. But you have now, say, the leader of Hezbollah talking about retaliation and saying that Israel has crossed all red lines. He described it as a massacre. And also the Prime Minister of Lebanon calling on the UN Security Council, which is meeting today, to take action to address it.
The leader of Hezbollah, of course, Nasrallah, has actually said that it has crossed all red lines. They haven't said how they're going to retaliate, but they say they are going to have some consequences for these attacks. Lorcan and Mossad officially haven't taken responsibility as of yet, but this has been broadly condemned across the world as a step too far. And apart from the US, really, they seem to be the only real ally that Israel has now.
Yeah, and even there, the US are talking about trying to de-escalate this and not putting the ceasefire at risk. Look, it is all escalating, quite rapidly. I mean, the UN Secretary General, when talking about this attack, said that the logic is that it's a preemptive move before a more major insurrection. Israel have moved a division of troops from Gaza up to the northern border, and the Defence Minister has talked about how this is the next phase of the war. So, I mean, all signs are pointing to that this is going to be an escalation, that the war is going to move to the north and it is going to continue there because Israel want to move their people back into the north of the country. 60,000 people have been displaced from there, and they have said one of our aims of the war is to bring those people back to their homes. The only way to do that is going to be to escalate their offensive against Lebanon. So, I mean, we don't want to think it. We all want to be optimistic, but I think the Saudi Arabian ambassador to the UK was saying during the week that it's the closest they have been since the early 1970s to a regional war here. And the US are saying they want to de-escalate it. I'm not sure what they're doing to ensure that the escalation occurs, but that's the only hope really, is that the power of the US will, calm everything down. But obviously the US isn't the calmest place at the moment.
Not really, and considering the amount of arms they're sending as well to Israel, it doesn't look very likely in the near future. And of course, a powder keg in the Middle East just waiting to explode. Another powder keg perhaps waiting to explode here in Ireland. Protests in Dublin that had some consequences yesterday. Yeah, so this is another one of these anti-immigrant and anti-immigration protests. And it was quite widespread yesterday in the city centre. So both in areas around kind of near government buildings and sort of around Grafton Street, and also then over on O'Connell Bridge, where protesters were sort of sat and blocked traffic for quite a while in the afternoon. Gardaí have said they gave a direction at one point in the afternoon to those protesters sitting on the bridge, asking them to move off within an hour, which seems like a lot more notice than maybe other protests in the past might have been given. And then in a statement, Gardaí said that,
time passed, the protesters were still refusing to move, and so that they began to make arrests and took the response up a level, I suppose. So yeah, another one of these protests that there's a lot of instances of sort of hatred and a lot of aggressive language being used against migrants, and also we see this sort of language spill and this kind of sort of hateful rhetoric spilling over into attacks onto other minority groups as well, whether that be LGBT people or even sexism against women. So it's really it's not a nice thing to see happening on our streets.
Yeah, and of course there was a lot of eyes on this protest as well, considering the recent discussions about mask wearing, etc. in relation to people who are protesting whether or not they should wear a mask, whether they should not wear a mask, whether it's allowed, whether it's disallowed. So, I mean, all eyes were on this really to see how the Gardaí would behave and how the protesters would behave.
Yeah, and look, obviously we had several public order incidents within it, the 19 arrests coming from it. So, I mean, it does seem like there was I don't know if there was more public order incidents or if there was a slightly different response from the Gardaí to this protest, but there does seem to have been more arrests from it than you might have seen from other protests that didn't, get violent or didn't erupt into riots. So there might be a slight change in approach or a slight change in tone to it. But I mean, I think we all realise that there is an issue here, like in our society at the moment, that does need to probably be addressed. That it's not just maybe at the fringes. That obviously the fringes are where the protest is happening, and you're seeing the signs and the chants. Whose streets or streets, get them out.
Irish Lives Matter and all
Irish Lives Matter, etc. But there was a really, really interesting column in the Sunday Independent last month, and I would encourage people to look it up, by Colin Murphy, and he talked about how we need to maybe have a discussion on how do we define nationalism in Ireland. Is it an ethno-nationalism or is it civic nationalism? Isn't it about kind of bloodlines, etc., or is it about the society that we're trying to build together, which is civic nationalism? And I think as a country we need to talk about civic nationalism.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to build together? If we're proud of being Irish, we're proud of what we're building here all together, not some stupid genetic idea of
Considering
being
the
Irish.
Irish diaspora is scattered all over the world in their billions really at this point, we can't really be that hypocritical in that. Finally, before we go today, you may have noticed it's our 25th anniversary today. So we're looking back at maybe what was making the headlines 25 years ago. And one of the big ones was the Y2K bug. Now, the 2V, you were 2, I think? What age were you in Y2K?
I would have been 7, yeah, well
I
aware
would have
of
been 2.
Yes,
Freshly
maths was never my strong point, I have to admit. But do you remember anyone talking anyway about it? Because we're looking at that quote today. We thought the world was going to end. We thought airplanes were going to fall out of the sky because the whole thing was that the digits was going to be 00000000, and because all digital systems would fall. And it didn't actually happen.
I'm sure in first class when we were doing the news in St Patrick's Boys National School in Mallow, it did come up. I'm sure. I don't have any maybe specific memories of it coming up, but yeah, obviously, look, the world was worried that the world was going to end, that planes falling from the sky, nuclear power plants exploding. None of it happened. And I think looking back, it is one of those things that it's really interesting. Did nothing happen because we spent 40 billion trying to stop nothing happening and therefore it worked? Or was it just hysteria and nothing was going to happen anyway? So I don't know if it was a lot of wasted money or if it was actually just an example of really, really good planning. And then everybody thought, sure, what was all that about? Sure,
I don't know. I was working in newsrooms around then, and I swear to God, we all did think it was going to be something catastrophic. But thankfully, it didn't happen. And here we are, 25 years later, and nothing has crashed.
We would have lost out on 25 years of Ireland AM.
And wouldn't that be a travesty? An absolute travesty. What you all would have missed. Listen, thank you both so much for joining us on our very special birthday show this morning. Now, up next, we're diving deep into the back pages to preview the weekend of sport ahead. See you back here in 3.
Yes, it's time now for your Friday dose of sport, and here to chat about today's big sports stories is Daniel Hussey, presenter of the Tackling Sport podcast. Good to see you, Daniel.
Good morning.
Champions League action on a Thursday. It's not what we're used to, but it's the new format. We got to watch Arsenal last night against Atalanta. It wasn't a great game.
No, it was similar to, I sat through both that game and Manchester City Inter on Wednesday night. They're my two big Champions League games.
And you're still waiting on a goal.
Still waiting on a goal. They're both playing each other on Sunday, so I reckon I'll still be waiting for a goal come Sunday evening. I feel that'll finish 0-0. But look, I think Arsenal will take a point in some ways. I think they sort of half played for one. But there are, I guess, worrying signs because they're missing Martin Odegaard, and it seemed all of a sudden after the first 15 minutes they struggled to create anything of note. And had Atalanta scored that penalty, which was an incredible double save, tough for everyone to get used to this format. And I did feel both last night and Wednesday night there was a lot of it just didn't feel like a Champions League games, both games. I guess the format's going to take a while to get going, but because teams aren't in the same group, there's not that same competitiveness on the pitch. Just little things. It felt a bit off.
Yeah, it does feel a bit odd. Just very quickly, tonight's a big night in the League of Ireland because Shamrock Rovers, who are hitting a bit of form, going to Derry, who are chasing a double. Rovers have already won there this year, and Shelbourne are going to Terryland Park to play Galway, and they're probably going to be hoping that it's a northwest draw.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's a big night in the title race. And Shamrock Rovers, who again we keep talking every week, they're probably out of the title race. I mean, they're definitely out of the title race. If they beat Derry and Shelbourne drop points, all of a sudden you're looking at that table, and like you mentioned, the Rovers are in good form, and if they can pick up momentum with the Conference League, and Shells, like you said, I think Shells will nearly take a draw if it means Derry lose, that sort of thing. But it's been an exciting title race, and good on the League of Ireland front that Dundalk were able to stay in business, but also that would have meant Shelbourne would effectively have dropped to second because those results would have been expunged. So yeah, big night in, but I expect Rovers to go for the win tonight because they've absolutely nothing to lose, and the pressure, I guess, is on Derry to at least get the win.
Yeah, and Rovers, last time they were up there, they got a 3-1 win, so it's going to be an interesting night always. The rugby is back. URC.
Long break.
Yeah, with Leinster playing Edinburgh, and Cian Healy on the cusp of equalling Devon Toner's record.
Yeah, equaling the appearance records if he comes off the bench, which would be absolutely incredible. In fairness, it feels like he's been around forever. I mean, if you ask me when did he start, I would say forever. But the pressure's on Leinster, I guess, because each of the last 3 seasons they've had chances of winning 1, sometimes 2 trophies. I mean, they were probably heavy favourites for the double in all 3 of those years. And they haven't quite, it's almost like they're doing the hard bit to get into the latter stages, whether that's finals or semi-finals, and haven't quite got over the line. What they do this year to change that in terms of trying to get that continuity with the starting 15, but also giving lads a run because they've got the biggest squad in the league. So I do think while having the biggest squad in the league helps them, obviously, throughout the season, it is a burden at times trying to get keep every player happy, but also try and give everyone the necessary game time. Prendergast is at 10 there tonight. Yeah. But I mean, obviously the big debate is who's going to end up there at 10. I mean, personally, I think they should really try and find a way of giving Frawley as much game time as possible, because in those big games, I think he is the one they're ultimately going to go to. But again, that's a tough balancing act because you've got everyone there. You've got like Spurn there and stuff. So it's a difficult one for Leinster. They've got to get that balance right because the proof's in the pudding. And while Leo Cullen has been an exceptional coach, he'll know the pressure's on this year to deliver at least one trophy. But I would say probably 2.
Today's a big day for us because we're celebrating 25 years of Ireland.
Happy birthday!
And we're looking back to 1999. Manchester United fans, when they hear that year, they remember the treble. And Dennis Irwin says every time he sees Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he gives him a hug because of that great night at the new camp. Yeah. It was some achievement.
The never say die attitude. This team exceeded all expectations that year.
It was the 2 subs that got the goals.
Exactly, and that just says it all. I mean, and especially in those days where you didn't have these big squads that they have now, where you would obviously rely on the bench. So for Fergie, the way he managed that, I was even reading something. I think Ole Gunnar was close to leaving the summer before and ended up staying. I think Arsenal were in for him.
Beckham was on the cusp of leaving because of what happened at the 1998 World Cup.
Yeah, with Argentina. So to do all that, I think it was just a managerial masterclass from Alex Ferguson, the way those players managed to get the max out of themselves. Now, United players would say, did they underachieve in Europe after that, right up until 2008, probably. But to have that all in the one season, I think it just gives Manchester United fans a great memory, you know. So an incredible achievement for them. And Jan van der Velde in the golf actually also ended up in the water and 4-shot lead on 18 and ended up losing.
God,
that was 99 as well. So it was looking through there this morning. A lot going on in 1999, I would say. But also Ireland AM, obviously.
Yeah.
Came on air as well.
We said hello in September. Good to see you, Daniel.
Likewise.
All right. Up next, to celebrate our 25th birthday, we're looking back on the pop culture highlights of the year we first broadcast. We'll see you for that in just a few minutes.
I just wanna go back to 1999. Take a ride to my home.
Oh, yeah. We're digging the music.
Aren't we?
Nothing wrong with it. Welcome back.
Back in the day.
It's 25 years to the day since the first episode of Ireland AM aired on our TV screens.
So we're taking it back to 1999 for the pop culture moments of that year. And joining us now is co-host of The Creep Dive, Cassie Delaney. Cassie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Anytime, guys. And this big, iconic day, the greatest pop culture story of all time, 25 years of Ireland I am. Where else would I be?
Not even a slight exaggeration there, because we're all very excited. But in fairness, 1999, it was peak Posh and Bex. It was peak Britney. It was like a tacky culture at its best, really.
Well, that's the thing. You look back at it now and you're like, that was tacky. But at the time, we thought it was the height of fashion. It was absolutely amazing. You know, I'm sure we all made fashion faux pas in 1999. Obviously, I was a fetus, so I was in baby grows and stuff. So I did.
Sure you were, yeah.
I had the Jennifer Aniston flicky haircut, I think, back then.
Yeah, I think I did as well.
That's coming back. Yeah, we all, well, Posh and Bex were obviously the focal point of 1999 with their wedding. So,
but before Posh and Bex, we have to start about Ireland AM, of course.
Of course, we have to start.
Of course, because we're the most important thing today.
Yeah.
30,000 hours of Ireland AM have been shot in the last 25 years. Isn't that incredible?
That's
it would take you 3.4 years to watch it from start to finish.
So,
and why wouldn't you?
So if you're very bored,
if you need to catch up with it, if you haven't been watching every day, obviously since 1999, like the rest of us have.
Look at Mark and Amanda.
And look at your man.
Apparently he still has that suit.
Apparently his father's working on the show now.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's 208 round trips to the moon and back length of time that you guys have been making this fantastic TV show.
Wow.
You're making me feel a little bit old now. Thank you very much for that.
Obviously, you were just making your communion when you started.
Yeah, making my communion. Yeah, not quite. We'll say no more about that. But the big news story, of course, of the year was Posh and
Bex's Irish wedding, which was incredible. So it happened over in Castleknock. And whilst they got married in very demure, Vera Wang and like a beige suit, the thing that stole the show was their purple outfits.
We're looking at it now.
So these outfits were absolutely iconic. They put them back on again earlier this year to show them they still had them, which was mind-blowing. These were outfits that were designed by Antonio Berardi, and the photos from this wedding are one of the greatest pop culture, I suppose, commercial successes of all time.
It's kind of the beginning of Brian Beckham, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. So when these photos appeared in OK magazine, there was such a rush to get the magazines that over 1 million copies sold of the first issue. Then they released 2 follow-up issues with more photos, and in total 7 million copies of the magazine sold, so people could get a look at their wedding and an inside scoop. Apparently one of the greatest deals to ever happen in OK magazine. Like, they really cashed out on selling their photos, which was fantastic. And till this day, it's still one of the most iconic weddings, I think, of all time.
Well, it was quite an event, all right.
200 people at the reception.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Like you said, and we showed a picture of the two of them in those purple suits once again. David doesn't look back on the suit with great fondness.
He says he followed Victoria's lead, which I think is a wise thing to do. I mean, and I think she knew what she was doing. I don't know that she necessarily looked at purple and was like, this is perfect for my wedding day. But she knew that the pictures would sell. She knew it would be iconic. But again, we all make fashion faux pas. Will I look back on this crocheted waistcoat in 25 years and regret it? I don't know.
You'll be here talking about it, don't you know? Let's talk about Britney, because she provided one of the big hits of 1999.
Hit Me Baby One More Time came out in 1999, which is like feels offensively long ago, because I do remember this song. I remember the Knockline talent show and every second performer singing this song. So Hit Me Baby One More Time became like the biggest selling song in Ireland and the UK and most around the world in 1999. It chopped the charts in nearly 2 dozen.
Topped the charts even. There was a spoonerism.
Topped the charts too. No, it did.
It topped the charts in nearly 2 dozen countries. So it was just a massive hit. And this was really, you think about this, is before YouTube, before TikTok. People were bet into watching MTV late at night to get a glimpse of this music video, because obviously there was the iconic schoolgirl outfit, there was the dancing. She just took the world by absolute storm. You know, she was 1999's Taylor Swift, if you will.
Yeah, even bigger, because she burst onto the scene. I suppose the first of the Disney kids to really make it mainstream.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got into it, is where we had Beckham Mania in the UK and Ireland. We had Britney and Justin in the US, and we were really obsessed.
Christina Aguilera. Onto the scene,
and the classic, the riffs between Christina and Britney, the love between Britney and Justin. Oh, it was just take me back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was all right. But then Brittany decided that she had to show up in Ireland because the EMAs.
The EMAs were hosted in.
Around there.
Yeah.
I know.
My God, it was amazing. It was a few months before I joined TV3, what was then TV3, and the whole world descended, really, on the capital.
Well, it was massive. You had the likes of Whitney Houston, you had Mariah Carey, you had Missy Elliott, you had Bono, you had obviously our own Irish acts, Westlife, Boyzone and Bewitched were all there
But
performing.
Westlife, had literally just burst onto the scene the year before, so they were still more or less in their infancy.
But they performed as well,
Yeah.
so that really would have put them on the global stage,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. You had some great crack that, if we look at kind of like who the big winners were at the AMAs in 1999, Boyzone, Will Smith, Backstreet Boys, Fatboy Slim, Whitney Houston and Bono won the Free Your Mind Award. So, I'd say an
Brittany won 4 of them, didn't she?
Brittany was the biggest winner of the night, breakthrough artist, best female artist, I believe. And, you had... look at that. They are still, to this day, some of the biggest stars in the world. Performers included Britney Spears, Mariah Carey and Missy Elliott.
But if I remember correctly, Whitney Houston refused to stay in Dublin. She got a flight back to London that night because she said, and I quote, there wasn't a hotel in Ireland quite good enough for her.
That's exactly what she
said. There was holy war.
Yeah, she said she wasn't going to stay, so she got a flight straight back to London. She missed out on all the crack, I'd say. I'd say that was a phenomenal night in Dublin.
It was an amazing night in Dublin.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say it was brilliant trying to spot, where do you reckon they all went for the after party?
Well, back then it would have been Reynard's and Lily's, I'd say, places like that. A lot of house parties, maybe. Back in those days, Eddie Irvine, the Formula 1 driver, would have had a pad out in Killiney or Dalkey. I mean, I'd say the house parties were rocking.
Yeah, everyone ferrying out in a party bus out to Killiney, I'd say. It was great crack. A bit of karaoke with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey.
Well, not with Whitney, she was gone.
She
was on a plane, she went back to London.
Brittany and Keith Duffy, now that'd be a karaoke session and a half.
It was hosted by Ronan Keating. Could you imagine the ego on him that night? Could you? I'd say.
Can you just remember how big boy bands were back then? That was the era of the boy bands. Of course, that's what they were going to be doing.
Yeah.
Front and centre.
Yeah, you had Backstreet Boys, Boyzone, Westlife, all there in attendance that night. I'd say it was phenomenal. But I think the real star of the show has to be Ireland's answer to Britney Spears, Alan Hughes, who managed to blag his way into the EMAs by pretending to be live on TV.
Yeah. I remember
it
that,
well.
Coming up from 8, speaking of that, we have actually not only Brittany himself, Alan Hughes, is here. We've gathered the whole Ireland AM family to celebrate our 25th birthday. So they're all together for this one.
Yeah, we've got the gang together, all right. Hello, Muireann, Tommy, Alan. They're doing the overtime today.
Yeah.
Good morning.
The shock they're in.
You snuck in to the... I did, because do you know how I was able to do it? The boss of MTV, I interviewed him that morning on Ireland AM, and then what happened here was we were just going pretending we were live, and he walked by and he waved, and I waved over to him. So they assumed that we're okay, because if the boss of MTV was saying yeah, let them in.
That's some serious 1999 pan stick makeup there, isn't it?
So, and literally, we got around backstage then.
Not quite backstage there.
No, not backstage there. But we did get in backstage where Britney and U2 and Bono and all was.
You watch out those cameras to get you anywhere.
I'm telling you. Put a camera on your shoulder.
Oh, you parked up there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oof. Tommy just got very impressed with your skills there, Tommy. Oh my God, Alan.
Not at all. Total surprise, but it was awesome. It was very cool.
Wow, look at that.
How are you finding Dublin? Oh, I love it, man. It's the second time we've been here this year.
You came out the airport and went right. That's how we found Dublin. I wouldn't mind, but after Alan did that, we were forensically searched. Every time a TV presenter went in to the point. It was almost like touch your toes, Martin, just to make sure we didn't have a hidden microphone.
And it's still happening to this day. Thanks, Al.
There you go.
Smile on your face, Martin, isn't it? You're grand. All good, all good. Well, anyway, do you know what? Coming up after 8, the birthday festivities, they are in full swing.
Yeah, guess who we've got in? Pat Short, Mario Rosenstock. This morning's Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary are on the guest list. You don't want to go anywhere.
And yes, I am going to be reunited with my viral companion, the man with the 10 siblings.
You had to do it.
Seamus O'Reilly is coming in, and I hope he's brought his book.
He's ready to go, shouting 10 siblings all over the place. We'll be back with you in Ireland AM. The whole gang in just a few minutes.
Ireland AM. It's the 20th of September. Thanks very much for joining us, because I'm sure you all know this is our very first show.
During this time, many presenters have sat in these chairs.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all?
We can't get a shot of Mark's shoes, can we?
Stop.
They're pointier than my ones.
If you just had sex, or sorry, just had.
What started as a perfect day turned into a horror movie.
You know, it was something that I just carried on my own.
More than 62% of Irish people voted in favour of amending the country's constitution to allow gay and lesbian couples marry.
I could see that things were changing, and I thought, well, I have to keep at this.
Up we go!
Now, our next guest doesn't really need an introduction, so we won't give him one.
He looks very different.
I laugh.
Hello, darlings. Hello, Ireland.
Things have come a long way.
They say, don't meet your heroes.
Well, you look very calm and collected.
I just had super
Hey, guys, and welcome to the weather.
Okay, here we go.
I have had my share of some good leading men, yeah.
Take it out for a ride.
It's pretty good stuff. It's juicy stuff.
Years. Welcome back to Ireland AM. That was incredible to see.
All the faces that have sitting on very couches, on chairs, behind desks. It was so lovely to see all the past presenters. A bit emotional, that actually, wasn't it?
Quite emotional. And there's still another truckload that we could add into.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous to see all of those people there. Lovely.
This morning, we're celebrating our silver anniversary as we turn 25. But what we actually want to acknowledge are the viewers who've been with us for over 2 decades.
You would have seen some people there sharing their stories. We have seen the impact you have had on us and on the country, and it has been so lovely to see firsthand, from raising millions for charities, giving your support to over 34,000 businesses. You have quite literally changed people's lives. So you, this morning, the viewer of Ireland AM, thank you so very much for everything.
What would a birthday party be without a few guests? So Tommy and Elaine, who's dropping by today?
Oh,
Thank you,
I can't wait for this. We've got double the development coming up as Ireland AM's first guest. Actor Pat Short will be dropping by.
We're also going to be joined on the sofa alongside the many faces of impersonator Mary Rosenstock.
Plus, at 9:35 this morning's Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary are getting in on the fun too.
And now Ireland AM has given me some great colleagues in this room.
Sure, we all have lovely bottoms, aren't we?
Memorable moments, and of course, well, my own accidental catchphrase.
How many siblings have I?
Let's take a look. 10 siblings.
Sadly lost their mum.
10 siblings.
Sadly lost their mum.
Yes, at age 15, I am going to finally meet the man with the 10 siblings.
10.
Elena's 10 siblings. Author and journalist Seamus O'Reilly is going to join us in studio at 8:15. And, well, I can't wait.
I'm still getting messages about that from all over the world. All over the world, 10
yeah,
siblings.
No, it's very funny. So that's coming up at 8:15. Looking forward to meeting Seamus.
So am I, actually. And Alan, what's cooking in the kitchen with our favourite?
Now, do you know, how long have you been here, Catherine?
About 22, 23 years, have I?
Catherine is one of 10 as well.
That's right, the eldest of 10.
We're only finding this out today. Catherine Layton is one of 10 siblings. She was keeping that as a birthday surprise for you, Tommy. I love it.
And I was in the studio the day he said that.
I know you were. Now, she's been keeping us sweet for the last 22 years.
God.
Yes. The wonderful Catherine Layton is on cooking duties this morning. It wouldn't be the same without you in the kitchen on this birthday day. How have you put up with us for 22 years? Especially the last few years with the grief me and Tommy give you.
I must say, the time has gone by very fast, really, Alan. But we've had some great fun, some sad times.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have changed anything. I love it. It's like my second family out here.
I know, it really is. It's getting emotional already.
Yeah.
And you want to stay around because a little later on we've a lovely little tribute to you.
Oh, geez.
We'll all be in floods. Now, this morning, Deric is continuing his birthday tour and he's landed in Salt Hill in Galway. Deric, what's happening?
Yes, Catherine, your second family is here in Cúnta na Galva because welcome down here to beautiful Salt Hill in County Galway. Have we any fans of Catherine Layton in the house? Oh, Catherine, you're mighty popular. Anyway, Claire and Aisling are with us. Claire, you have been watching the show since the very beginning.
The very, very first day. Every morning I get up to Ireland AM. I watch the news and I watch the papers and I watch it until I have to go and do something else.
It really sets your day up. What's your favourite thing about the show?
Oh, the favourite thing has to be the humour, the unscripted humour, the innuendo.
Oh, Alan Hughes.
Alan Hughes. Alan Hughes, you're the king of innuendo.
Oh, yeah, now you heard it here first.
Between Alan Hughes and the chefs, Catherine Layton is a pretty good woman as well, and Joe Shannon.
Joe Shannon, God bless him, yeah, we lost Joe, yeah.
They were always full of crack, and the laugh, the happy laughter, just sets you up for the day.
What about you, Aisling?
I just love the out and about. Love to see what's going on around the country, get a feel for what's happening, see what people are up to, and just a bit of crack that's going on.
And we're in every town, village and rural community. For me and all the crew here in Salt Hill, in Cúnta na Galva. They're flying for me here this morning. It feels like we're on a safari. We've got goodie bags for everyone in the house as well. Back to you in studio.
Welcome back. I'm not joking inside here. It's like, well, my mother had 19 siblings. Well, my mother had 18. This is just...
She did.
It's
19. She was from a family of 19.
Stick to the script.
Muireann, you've got something to read now.
I feel inadequate now.
So we're going real 10 siblings in just a few minutes. But all this week, we have been asking you for your favourite Ireland AM memories from the past 25 years. And one that keeps on coming up. They cannot keep up with the amount of texts that are coming in. Wait a minute. Alan Hughes, what could you have done that everyone remembers? It is your COVID haircut, of course. I think we're going to get to roll it there, Kevin. Thomas says it was so funny because it was such a tough time. Plus, we'd all thought we'd never see a barb again. Alan was brilliant, made everyone laugh. It's your face, the concentration face.
I know, remember, everybody had to cut their hair during COVID.
Yeah.
So we were given lessons on how not to do it.
We were given lessons on how to cut hair.
Oh my God, you should have just put a bowl around your head.
But then, look at Ciara in the background.
Ciara's decided she's had enough.
What's happening?
And that was a look you've stuck with ever since.
I telling you, Tommy. I said I like it. I'm going to stick with it. So look at this. You have it. Since then,
you put the lemon in the hair. Put the lemon in the hair.
Oh my God! But Alan's not the only person who our viewers adore and love. We have a text in as well from James saying, one of my favourite memories from Ireland AM over the last 25 years was when the weather was presented by Martin King wearing super-sized sunglasses.
Yes.
It was like he went straight to work after a night out on the town.
I had.
In fairness, it was true. Whether it's presenting the forecast in his oversized shades or even dressing like a Christmas tree, since the rare sun is out, maybe bring it back. I don't know. We should have brought in the oversized glasses for you. Do you think we should have? Now, Martin, you did love delivering the weather in quite strange ways. Well, sunglasses. Also, today marks the 26th birthday of the station. When a young Martin King.
What do you mean young? You mean
young
I'm not
Martin
young
King. Well, you're pushing on a bit, Martin. Now, to be fair. A young Martin King actually.
Is my
your
comp
very
plan
first,
ready?
Your very first weather report. Your very first weather report.
We're not going to show that, are we?
Will we have a look?
Martin joins us now for a detailed look at the weather.
Oh yes, it's a real case of the forecast so bright I've got to wear shades, even if it's only for a minute. I just need to tell you first, right, I have pre-booked this weather to coincide with the launch of TV3, and it wasn't easy. 27 novenas and so many decades of the rosary that I've come up with 3 mysteries of my own.
It's September 20th, and we're right at the beginning of an Indian summer. If the sun's going to shine, it's always welcome.
Love you, shine your love on me.
Oh, God.
It was so different. That was the whole idea, wasn't it?
That was day one.
Yeah.
That was the very first day of the station.
But like when you'd seen other stations doing it, so I was going to say badly, but differently.
What are you suggesting about our
But then you took a whole fresh idea and just did it your own way. Well, that's what people
Well,
loved.
when I got the call asking if I wanted to come and work at this new station that hadn't even opened, and they said, we've got an idea. And then they said, this is what we want to do with it. And I thought, I'm in.
Yeah.
And to be
Good
fair,
on
the
you.
glasses, he drinks Sambuca. Like, he sips Sambuca. That's why he needs the glasses so much. That's what happens.
I've seen 2 shots.
Yeah, we've seen
Never.
a lot of old footage of me and others this week. But another presenter that's been here for many years too is Elaine. Let's see if you recognise anyone here.
Let's catch up with some news. Here's
A new
Elaine.
face.
A new face
On Ireland AM.
Elaine Crowley. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you very much. I'm so flattered. Good morning. It's set to be another day of snow today.
Now it's the first news of the morning with lovely Elaine.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning. The penalty point system is being slammed after it emerged a woman had received 12 penalty points before she received her first notice.
We've been meeting plenty of our farming friends across the morning as well. Look at that, 7 o'clock in the morning already, I'm getting the bum steer. I suppose on that note, we'll go back to Dublin. See you later.
Thanks for that, Aidan. Good morning. I want to break free here.
Shut up, you. For God's sake.
Sorry, couldn't resist that. Can you just pull out a little bit? I just want to see if I've indecently exposed myself. Oh, dear. Thank you. Now we'll take a look at the sport with Aidan.
Well, the match is sold out, but if anyone has a spare corporate ticket, you'd gladly take it this evening.
No, not tonight.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be a good girl and go to bed early.
Good girl.
Good girl,
to bed early.
And I'm
we just pull
still
out a
good
little
girl
bit there,
and I go
lads?
to bed early. I'm still very good.
Nobody
Lads,
believes
I'm
it.
sorry.
Just need the quiet pause
The,
there.
the fashion choices.
The hair.
Oh my
The
God.
flicky out hair was
Oh my
amazing.
God, that green.
Yeah,
What
the
was with all
lime green. Where-
It
do you
was
still have that?
gorgeous.
I don't. That's kind of the
You
same. I have
haven't
to shave
changed.
Back. Excuse, I have.
You look fantastic. You are
well
absolutely amazing.
Look,
Gorgeous.
no, should I get the fringe back, lads? Get the old fringe back.
Oh, well, if
Yeah.
you are getting it back, let him cut it.
Yeah, that's it.
He'll look after that for you.
I'll do a cheap
Next week on Ireland AM.
All right, still to come. It was the interview that launched 1,000 memes.
Yes, after the break, I am going to be reunited with author Seamus O'Reilly, the man with the 10 siblings, to hear his side of the story. That's how many siblings?
Very welcome back. Now, it was an accidental hiccup on air, just a slight one that caught the world's attention, racking up millions of views online and a whole host of memes.
Yes, and following that viral whirlwind, I finally get to meet the man with the 10 siblings. Yes. Journalist and author Seamus O'Reilly, it is a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
To meet in person, but of course, before we actually get chatting face to face, we
not again.
may as well play it again. Roll it there.
Author Seamus O'Reilly was just 5 years old when he and his 10 siblings...
10 siblings?
...sadly lost their mum.
He's now using this as the basis for his humorous new book, Did You Hear Mammy Died?
10 siblings.
10 siblings?
...sadly lost their mum.
You okay there, Tommy? All right.
Good morning to you.
Have you seen that before?
Seamus, I've seen it once or twice, yeah, I happen to. Listen, you were on for your book, Did You Hear Mammy Died? How long was it after that? Because the interview just carried on as if nothing happened. So did your phone go hopping straight away, or how long did it take?
No, not straight away. I noticed it and I loved it in the moment. It was like, oh, that's a funny little moment. But I was doing other interviews and kind of wasn't really thinking about that one too much. No one said it very much, just, oh, it went well. And then about 2 hours later, I seem to remember, someone clipped it and said, this is very funny. And the way that they'd clipped it, it was way funnier than I remembered. Because I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. I'm not really kind of paying attention. And then I think it was about an hour after that when I checked back again. I hadn't been tagged or anything. And I was like, oh, there's like 10,000 people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a different remix. And then there was a TikTok dance remixes. And I think it was pretty short. It was about 2 or 3 hours, and then your life has never been the same.
Tommy, how long was it before you realised what was going
listen,
on?
I do these on a regular basis on this show. For people who are watching this morning will know that. But it was about 3 o'clock that afternoon, and my phone went, and I had a message with a load of laughing emojis from one of the rugby lads who I wouldn't hear from too often. And I kind of said, oh, yeah, the cookery slot with Catherine Layden was pretty funny today. And he said, have you looked at Twitter yet? And I literally looked at my phone. I had millions of tweets with just one, pure partridge, Alan Partridge, eat your heart out, car crash television, who let this guy on television? So, yeah, it pretty much took off very quickly.
So your fantastic rugby career has completely been negated by the 10 siblings thing.
I saw a very early one that I checked on your Instagram, and it was someone who said, look, it's the 10 siblings guy. And I was like, is that what our lovely Tommy has been reduced to after all of his career?
Well, listen, the rugby career is like, I'm literally everywhere I go now. It used to be What Colour Eyes. It was a song I sang when I was drunk on stage a number of years ago, but now it's all about the 10 siblings. I have to ask you this, like, because people still do question, like, there was no offence intended.
No.
I hope you and your family weren't offended by it.
No, I mean, I did toy with the idea of saying that so that we could have another viral moment. But no, we thought it was absolutely priceless. It was very, very funny, but also the fact that it kept going, like, I can't tell you how strange it was, because weirdly enough, we all kind of live in different places now, me and my 10 siblings. But I think 2 days later,
There they are, look at that.
we were all together for a sort of, just a big family reunion, sort of a holiday. And we don't usually get, together that much. My book had just come out, it was all kind of nice. And I think that's when it really broke with everybody. It was bringing me a different one every 5 minutes. Dance remixes, techno remixes, the whole lot.
Do your siblings know they are the 10 siblings?
Yes.
Or do they tell people? What way does that work?
I imagine they do. I mean, it probably gives a bit of meaning to their lives. Because I'm the famous one.
Well, Elaine, you have 10 siblings. Does it get made a joke whenever you tell people?
Well, it does now. Because I've got 10 siblings, everybody. 10 siblings. Catherine Layden earlier on, she's 10 siblings.
Yeah.
For anybody
Turns
in the
out
world.
it's a lot more common than I thought.
There you go now. But they're not as famous as yours.
They're not. And I have Tommy to thank for that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Do people not realise it's you?
Yes, that's the other thing that happens. Because I write about my family quite a bit. I write about, childhood and all stuff. So if I say the words, my 10 siblings, there'll always be somebody who comments with the meme or with a picture of just you.
Yeah.
Because they think, oh, it's a coincidence, and they don't realise that I am actually the guy. So in a way, I've gotten all the benefits of the meme, but I do not get followed around with it. Nobody knows.
Tommy got the notoriety.
And I feel bad because you get followed around, but I just get the lovely parts.
It's probably because on this show, we obviously go from light to dark an awful lot. And at that period, you could see myself and Claire. We were opposite ends of the sofa, so it was peak COVID. So Seamus, you were doing a Skype about this book. And although the title sounds quite sad, it's quite you're a very funny writer. So we got told this is going to be a funny interview, and I was talking to you about something going on with your microphone.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and it didn't turn out to be so. Well, it did turn out to be so funny looking back at it. But I'm now a viral moment. We are both in this forever, and this is going to last an awful long time.
That's TV. That is live TV. Look at it now.
It is.
And here you are on the 25th anniversary show. I mean, very few people get to sit on this couch with us.
I mean, it's
all thanks to you, Tommy.
Pleasure and a privilege.
Yeah.
Well, I sat on a plane the other day and somebody was reading the book and I thought, it follows me everywhere. And then I heard the lady reach across and go, is that book from that fella who made the viral instant? Yeah, that's him, 10 siblings. And I was literally sitting on the row behind. So, yes, Seamus O'Reilly, I have that to thank you for. It's a privilege to have you with us and pleasure to meet you as well. So, thanks so much.
And you know what? Sometimes it's not all that great having 10 siblings. I know. Anyway, thank you so much, Seamus.
And if you want to check out the book, Did You Hear Mammy Died? Check it out, it's a great read.
See, there we go, nice plug.
Oh, right. What's coming up next in the kitchen, Al?
Well, do you know what? Earlier this week, we had the viewers cheering her name with Deric when he was on the road around the country. She's been with us for 22 years. So after the break, we're going to be making some buns, but also reminiscing about some wonderful memories with the wonderful Catherine Layden. See you shortly. Now, for over 22 years, she's brought charisma, a bit of sass, and always delicious dishes to the Ireland AM kitchen.
Well, we couldn't celebrate 25 years of Ireland AM without the Queen of Tarts and our hearts, Catherine Layton.
Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
Anyway, before we even start chatting or start eating, let's take a look at Catherine's journey with Ireland AM.
Here we are once again. The magic woman from Odlum's, Catherine Layton, is here.
People stop you in supermarkets and all now all the time. You become a star, mega star.
I don't know if I'm being a star, but they do stop me as I am being recognised at last.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Thank you. Well done. You want to stand this side, Catherine?
Oh, come here, lads. I've gone through it all, I think, Anna. Yes, I have, yeah. And I've enjoyed every minute of it, I must say.
So many people around the country are feeling this lockdown.
These long, dark nights and days, it's just horrendous now.
I just want to give you a big hug the first chance we can. Yes, Catherine has received her vaccine.
I just cannot believe it. And I hope to be back in studio ASAP.
She's back in the kitchen.
I'm delighted to be back.
You were
I
a
can't
vision.
No harm.
This is in there.
Get it in there, Cynthia.
Yeah. Catherine Layton, did you ever get a hickey?
I don't think so. I couldn't tell you if I did.
Gorgeous. It's perfect, isn't it? Just gorgeous. I love it. Really good. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. We're like two young ones.
Come here.
Two young ones.
Come here, I have to say, we just have a little gift for you. A little bunch of flowers because...
Thank you, Jesus.
Can you just sum up?
I can't really. I'm speechless. It's been a marvellous 22, nearly 23 years. And you've been there through it all with me. Through thick and thin. And we've had some very happy times, some very funny times, and the odd sad time. But it's great we're here.
And it is great that you're here.
Thank
it
you
really
so
is.
much.
And,
Can I
and
give
the
them to
viewer,
Martin?
and we can give them over because the viewers.
Thank you. I think for me.
They're for you. The viewers,
I'll mind them over here, Catherine.
The viewers
Thank
have
you.
really responded to you, and I know some of the low times and during COVID, and we tried to keep in touch with you because you were very lonely.
Oh,
and you
COVID nearly killed me.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're out the other end.
We're out
thank God.
the other end.
Yeah,
and
thank
you're
God.
here.
We're
And
here.
you're going to make us some buns this morning.
Some simple buns.
That's what we like.
It's easier.
Go on.
125 grams. 150 grams.
Are you,
5 ounces.
she's all right. Take your time. Take your time. You're
125
fine.
grams, 4 ounces of butter at room temperature. I just gave it a little mix there earlier. 125 grams, 4 ounces of caster sugar. 165 grams, 6 ounces of self-raising flour. 1 tablespoonful of cocoa. 1 tablespoonful of drinking chocolate. 1 egg, 2 eggs, sorry. So all in the mixing bowl at once. I cut my finger last night doing this.
Oh, sure, it doesn't matter. Sure, the blood looks the same as the colouring, so it's all right.
Come here, can you remember your first time on the show?
I do well, Alan.
What was it?
We were making porridge.
Porridge?
Porridge, and we were out in the garden. There wasn't a shed there or a thing. And I arrived with me hot plate. Merciful hour and me sauce. But
Now, hang on, did you arrive with your hot plate because you didn't trust us?
No, because we didn't have anything else to cook it on.
I have to bring it with me.
We're doing a chef item. Will you bring a hot plate?
And were you a bundle of nerves?
I was a bit, yeah. I was.
But then,
Because I didn't know what I was half-facing.
Yeah.
And then we got on the gout and fired the pair of us.
Yeah, and with people over the years, it's been just amazing with you.
I've had great fun.
We've had great
Giving
fun.
up the cigarettes was the best crack of all times.
Well, it's not an easy thing to do.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
I nearly lost the head here one morning.
Was that with Tommy Bowe?
The HSE were in and with all sorts of people in.
All right.
But you did get tons of support.
Oh, completely. I'll never forget it. Everywhere I went, it was brilliant.
The viewers.
The viewers were
just
amazing.
love you.
I was in Sligo one morning and I went in. Was that Sligo? Went in to do me lotto.
Yeah.
And the girl at the counter, I'm not selling you cigarettes, she says to me.
I love it.
Yeah, it was
that
brilliant.
They knew. And come here, we had Edward on yesterday.
Yeah.
Edward Hayden was on yesterday, where he keeps getting people sort of saying, "We love your mother,
mammy.
we love your man."
I get that all the time. And Edward, your son is lovely, young fella. Jesus.
Hayden and Leyden, very different people.
Poles apart we are. But we're quite friendly.
Of course you're quite friendly.
Yeah.
You're on the phone to him all the time.
Not all the time, but he regularly comes in.
Okay, all right.
See how I'm getting
3 in the
on.
morning.
3 in the morning. So
That's
what are we
been known to
doing
happen
here?
As well. We're just scooping. You beat the mixture all together until it's like a batter as we have here.
I just love the fact that you're using an ice cream scoop.
Correct.
What a great idea.
Brilliant. You get a nice even cupcake or bun afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's enough for now, I think.
Right.
I'm getting that side.
That's done.
Now we're going to put them into the oven. Alan behind me there.
Yeah, all right.
And here
I'll
we
do the
have-
duties.
It's
I'm
going
on
in for how
duty.
long?
180 for 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
And here are the few we made earlier.
Right, lovely.
And I'm just going to decorate them with some cream cheese filling.
All right. And the ingredients of that, it's just a bit of icing sugar and a bit of butter, yeah?
Cream cheese, butter, icing sugar, and a little tip of vanilla essence.
Has there been a favourite moment, Catherine, over the years that you can think of? This just all been fabulous.
It's all been great.
I know, but has there been a favourite moment?
The morning we set fire to the table. Remember that? Tommy Bow shouting at me, "You're on fire!" No, we're not on fire. Next thing, the paper was on fire. You're getting tea towels. No, merciful hour.
You nearly burnt us down.
I did, yeah.
You nearly burnt
I'm
us
here to
down.
tell the tale.
You
though.
certainly are here
Now,
to tell the tale.
A few decorations in.
Look
And there
at
we have
that.
our cupcakes.
They're lovely.
Now,
They are gorgeous.
a few simple ideas. We have some little marzipan stars here as well.
All right.
So,
All very simple.
very,
And
very
Do
simple.
you know what? I was talking to someone the other day
Who?
and I was saying that you must, over the years, you must have baked everything there is to bake.
Absolutely. There's nothing I couldn't make now at this
There is
stage.
nothing that you haven't
After
baked.
all these years, yeah.
Yeah, you've done it all. And you were very good last night. You spent all night to make us our very special birthday cake.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're cutting me.
Tommy has this. Look at this. We have our...
No, she's been very busy all morning.
She's very busy all morning.
I mean,
Look
I
at
tell
this.
you what.
Guilty, not
Catherine
guilty.
Layden, the queen of the kitchen.
Oh,
Look at
thank
this.
you so
Look at
much.
that.
No, what do you mean, thank you? You baked this, Catherine. Took you all morning, all yesterday
Oh,
as well. Look at that. 25
Happy
years.
birthday, everyone.
of
That is an
Ireland,
amazing cake.
And
Lovely.
you have
Just
been
a
a
fantastic
massive,
cake.
massive part of it,
Like a wedding
Catherine.
cake.
And listen, I've only part of the show a couple of years,
You're a great
but
part.
you've welcomed me brilliantly.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much, even
Thank you.
despite you nearly burning the kitchen down. Now, is that the icing you've just made there, or is that
No,
an
that's-
actual cake?
That's the cup, the red velvet.
the
cup.
mixture,
It's
Tommy.
done, Tommy.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Here's the icing,
It
Tommy.
looks very
the
runny,
icing is
doesn't
in
it?
the
Never
bowl
gives
and in
you
the
a
pint
break,
bag
does
over
he?
there.
Never
And
gives
even
you
at the celebrations, it'll give me a break.
You're very good, honestly.
I
Thanks so
enjoy
much.
it, no end.
We were just chatting this morning. 22 years she's been here. This is the first time I've worked with Catherine.
First time ever.
Oh, really?
First
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, but you have to test.
And you
so,
brought a
Martin,
cake to celebrate.
You have to test.
You need to test it.
You
Here
need
we
to
go.
test it.
The
Go
proof
ahead.
is in the pudding.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, while we're tucking in here, we get to stand alongside some incredibly talented chefs like the Queen, Catherine Layden, who've become like family to us.
But also, Chef, one of your pals, Joe Shannon, certainly left a lasting mark on us, and many of you at home. The last 25 years of Ireland AM wouldn't have been the same without his humour and, of course, that laugh. And viewers have been texting us all week about one particular moment, and I think this perfectly captures his character. Have a look.
What's this?
So that very simply then goes into an oven for 16 minutes, and before you put it in, just give it a little prick with your with your fork. And into our lovely Pico oven for 16 minutes. Now behave yourselves, will you? All right?
Oh, keep going, Joe.
You know what? That's how we remember him. That
Oh, that's
great
that laugh.
Lovely man.
Oh, yeah,
That laugh.
brilliant laugh.
that infectious laugh.
God rest his soul. Yeah,
God rest his soul.
Out in
And
the kitchen.
And when we were over with his family, and they were just sort of saying,
Oh, yeah.
it was like you, it was like a second family here with us, and he just loved it. So, listen, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with us all those years.
Thank you
and
so
Joe
much.
was, yes, an absolute legend. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back here very shortly.
Well, I'm good.
Welcome back to Ireland AM. Now he has travelled the 32 counties to meet over 4,000 communities. So this week, Deric's travelled around the country to catch up with a community of Ireland AM viewers and people who have contributed to this show. He's landed in Salt Hill in Galway, surrounded by some of his besties. How are you doing, Deric?
Absolutely, Muireann. We've had a great week for our birthday road trip. Welcome down here to Salt Hill. In Cúnta na Galva. The sunshine has been on our back all week. And take a look here. We have got a gorgeous Corca Millage, courtesy of all the crew here at Blackrock College Pantry. A big cheer for all the gang. And we'll talk into that a little bit later on. Anyway, we're joined now by some very special guests here this morning. First up, we have Dee Featherstone from Strip and Dip. We have Siobhan Harris, who's a swimmer, Geraldine O'Malley from Dips Don't Lie, and also Mark Loftus from the Paddy Box. And Dee, we'll start with you. The Strip and Dip.
Yeah, that's it.
How long have you been going?
We've been doing 11 years this year. Yeah, so we started in 2013. Yeah, so we're 11 years into it now. Amazing experience.
You were telling me earlier on, you started off with 40 women and you had to rope most of them in.
I did.
And now you're up to how many?
Well, the biggest one was in 2018 when we got the world's Guinness record.
Yes,
and there were 2,505 ladies.
Ah, big boola boss! That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, 2,500 women from all over Ireland, all over the world came. And yeah, it was incredible. Yeah.
Now,
so from 40 to 2.5.
It's all for a great cause as well. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Everything we do is for Aveen's Pink Tie, our beloved charity. And with the funds that we raised actually on the world, we raised $500,000 on that day alone. We helped fund a house in Crumlin for the families of the children going through cancer. So they're just the most amazing. We do everything for Aveen's Pink Tie.
Now, Ireland AM have got behind you over the years. What does it mean to have that platform to help you out?
Oh, it's just incredible, like, really, because we went on before the world's largest skinny dip and numbers, and just like everyone said, oh my God, we saw you on Ireland AM, and they were sitting on the couch going, feck it, sure, we're going to do it. Yeah, so we got loads of people joining, and we've been on it a couple of times, and we rang in afterwards to tell you we got the record and everything. It's been brilliant to have Ireland AM behind us.
What I love about it is that it's all women, all shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter who you wear, what you wear, onto the beach.
That's it.
Strip off and in you go.
Strip off and you know what, nobody notices anybody because they're just focused on getting in that water. We're not looking at anybody.
You know, I'm a big swimmer. It's the one for the boys.
Yeah, that's called the Dicky Dip.
Oh, the Dicky. Oh.
Having no dickies on our beach.
I might join you though next time. We're due to come down. Siobhan, you're also a big swimmer as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, back in 2014, you got your diagnosis.
I did. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, it was obviously devastating. You know, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer back in 2014. Thankfully now it's all cleared up and I'm, you know, good health. Bar the lymphedema that I was left with after the treatment for the cancer, so that's a constant ongoing thing. But I saw Deirdre and Sinead, wasn't it, was with you on Ireland AM when they were doing the world record, and I said, God, you know, maybe one day, you know, I wasn't in the right frame of mind then to be doing anything, and I suppose like everybody, you're always wondering, like, you know, oh God, you know, if I lose a stone, I'll do it, or if I was this or is that. But honestly, as Dee said, when you get in there, the atmosphere is electric. Nobody cares.
No.
You're more concentrating getting into that freezing cold water.
I know you roped in your best pal Joanne.
I did,
as well,
yes, I did. Yeah. She was great. Now I have to say, she was such a support, like, you know, and even through my cancer journey with my family and everything like that, she was there by my side, which was brilliant. But she's already roped in, I think, about another 10 people for next year. So we're definitely going. Yes,
great,
yeah,
okay, and we'll see you down there.
Led the crowd this year. Myself
I did.
First.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. All right, we'll move on to Ger O'Malley. Ger, I remember paying you a visit in January. It was the freezing depths of winter, and I was wearing a tutu jumping off the platform in Stockoon.
You were aware, Deric. Yes, you were. Absolutely.
I mean, what was it like that morning?
It was Baltic. Absolutely Baltic. But it was a great morning. You came down, you made us all feel very at ease on the cameras, and it was our first time doing it. Second time today, and I didn't expect to be here, but I am. We got a new flag.
You got a new flag, which is great. And what I loved about it that morning was the community spirit down there in Mullingar. It was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah. And loads of other people came as well. They seen you on the telly and whatever, and they came down to join us afterwards. And after that, we just went from strength to strength.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And I believe there's a boys' group down there now as
There's
well as
a boys' group now on a Wednesday evening at 7:30 called the Blue Balls.
Blue Balls? So we've dicky dips and blue balls.
I wonder why. Yeah. And they're loving it. They're loving it.
I believe you felt like a little bit of a celebrity around the town afterwards, did you?
Well, I went into a certain store in town and one of the girls behind the desk recognised me from that morning earlier on and just said how brilliant we were
and she's been signing autographs ever since.
Ever since.
Well, ladies, because of your contribution to the community, and I know you do such fantastic work, we've got a new voucher. It's a 2-night stay in any of their 4-star hotels.
Wow.
We've breakfast on both mornings and dinner on one evening. There we go. Isn't that fantastic? Now, finally, we're saying good morning to Mr. Paddy Box himself, Mark Loftus. Good morning to you, Mark.
How are things?
Mark, you came on the show back in 2017. Tell us about your journey.
Yeah, that was probably about 2 or 3 weeks after we launched, so it was in Mam's kitchen at that point. I remember even after we went on the show, we came back and it was shirt and slacks, and my mum was up to 90, saying, how are we going to deal with these orders now after being on the show? So
it's incredible, really. You've been on Back in Business or Business Initiative on the show. What was the impact like afterwards?
It's like an instant trust builder. So we obviously send quite emotional sort of gifts. At times we're sending boxes all over the world to people who miss home, your Tato crisps, Barry's tea and all the essentials. So it was just a trust builder really for us, and it gave an instant endorsement and to the company. So it's just when we have that kind of a trust with customers, that's what we've really been built on, is that trust and emotion with customers that we have, and a relatability. So it's been super for us.
Your tagline, Mark, a piece of Ireland in a box.
That's
I love
a bit of Irishness, yeah. Delivering GRA worldwide, that's what we kind of like to do, and build a bit of GRA for people who might miss home.
Yeah, and what's it like now? Obviously, a small business like yourself, you have grown now into quite a big business. Ireland has provided businesses like yourself with a fantastic platform to grow into the future.
That's it. Like, we've grown since Mam's kitchen. We got kicked out of there pretty sharpish.
Yeah.
So we're in.
Mam was like, out the gap with you now.
Good luck. Yeah. So we're in a big warehouse now, and it's just, again, it started off that trust for us, and we've really built a business on that trust between ourselves, our customers, and the recipients of our gifts. So it's been incredible for us, really.
And where to now, Mark, with the business?
It's just growing every time. Unfortunately, a lot of people are leaving Ireland, but it's good for us,
fortunately
I suppose.
for you.
But it's been great. Like, we've new markets, corporate markets, new boxes all the time, an American market. It's just constantly growing. It's great. So we'll keep at it and keep working hard.
One, give the website a mention before we let you go.
thepaddybox.com.
There we go. Give him a boola boss. There we have it from Paddy, Ger, Dee and Siobhan. How RLM has impacted communities right around the country. We're having a gorgeous morning. Are we having a great morning? We are. From everyone here in Salthill, Cúnta na Galba, back to Dublin. Woo!
Well
done,
We'll have a
Deric.
slice of
I'm
cake
glad he got a
now.
cake too.
Yes.
You got a cake.
Martin,
with the cake.
Martin made that cake. Of course he did. We love him.
He looks
Fair
gorgeous.
play.
No, not this Martin.
Not this Martin. Other Martin.
Martin at the Blackrock Cottage.
And you know, we just have to say, like, Deric has been, like, over the 25 years, because I thought I'd visited nearly every town and village when I was out doing it, but Deric definitely has. And I think that's part of
And the
Ireland.
islands.
And the
We've
islands.
gone to all the
And
islands.
what Ireland have done over those years.
It's the heartbeat of this
No,
show,
but we've got
absolutely,
out to every town and village, and if there's places that we haven't been, let us know. We'll get there.
He
we
was
will.
He was even in New Two-Pot House the other day. New Two-Pot House where I'm from. My God, he's literally been everywhere.
Everywhere. We'll be there. We'll send Deric there.
We'll stay here.
I won't be anywhere near us.
Right, coming up next on the show, we're going to be sitting down with professional funny men Mario Rosenstock and Pat Short.
We're catching up with the stars of this morning in Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond.
And a trip to Las Vegas is on the cards for one of you at home. We'll see you back here.
He's finished the cake.
We're having cake.
That's your second slice, isn't it?
Good morning, can you believe it?
The restrictions
have lifted, everybody.
Bit of fancy footwork there, Mr. Dunbar.
Yeah, a bit of dancing around there, yeah.
If I came home wearing this for my wife, I think she'd do a runner.
We're not live, are we? We're not live.
Listen, you've continued with the most haunting...
Good morning. Good morning. Sounded something hard there. Is that right, wrong? What is that?
What is a leprechaun whisperer?
Wow. Alan, you're...
Oh, jeez. Bit of smoke.
Is this a joke? Oh, a good time. Oh, it's nearly 9.
Be down for a 9-inch out in a while.
The delicious dessert that explodes in your mouth, Alan.
Don't, Alan Hughes.
Between commercial breaks, we didn't tell you this, but we have little naps.
We've got a swear jar here.
I won't make an Olympic star, not like a gold medalist, Sally Gummel.
The aquarium, we'll love here to tell us what he's been up to since in.
You have to bleep that one out.
The fire alarm going to go off.
That's it, mate.
I think we all feel banjaxed here most mornings.
The things we do for this show.
Chin chin.
The most important people of all, actually, are the people at home who are watching. Because we knock on your door and hope to be invited in.
Gorgeous. Were they your knickers? Those red little thongs,
didn't go
lovely.
home with me, Elaine. No, they didn't. But wow, amazing memories. And that's only just in 25 years. Unbelievable.
I know. Welcome back to Ireland Dame's 25th birthday celebrations. We bring a tear to your eye.
Yeah, after over 7,000 episodes, over 60,000 guests, and travelling to over 4,000 communities. Unbelievable. There's a huge amount to celebrate. So, Alan and Muireann, can you fill us in what's coming up in the final hour?
Well, an hour of Alan innuendo.
No.
That's unbelievable. See a rundown of it, isn't it?
Now,
man.
Let's move on. We've a double billing of the country's funniest fellas. Actor Pat Short is dropping by to look back on over 2 decades of entertaining the nation.
One of the very first guests here on Ireland AM. He'll also be joined by Michael D. Higgins.
Yeah.
Roy Keane has flown in for us. And, of course, Bertie Ahern has left the north side, drove in the M50, and he's here in Ballymount. And whoever else, actually, do you know what, impersonator Mario Rosenstock decides to bring along with him.
Yes.
Little Martin might have a couple of Martin Kings in studio.
Oh, he will, definitely.
You know he will.
And from Ireland AM couch to the This Morning couch. Yes, we're going to be checking in with Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary at 9:35. Looking forward to that. Going live to London.
Love you. The real Martin. Can you please stand up? Yeah, you're here. What else have we got?
You want me to stand up as well?
Up, go on.
I'm just saying, like, Mario's going to do something and you know it.
Oh, don't you know? Yeah. Anyway, usually when your birthday comes round, you're supposed to get presents, but not us. No, instead we're giving out the gifts. We got a fabulous trip to Las Vegas to give away to one lucky Ireland AM viewer. It's a prize worthy of the king himself. Uh-huh. If only my collar had worked.
Well done, Martin. Go on.
Deric is continuing his birthday road trip. He's travelling the country to meet Ireland AM viewers. Deric, who's with you in Galway this morning?
I am indeed, Martin. Never mind live to London, it's live to Galway! The gang are flying form here. The sun is shining here in Salthill, born the throw. Mark, tell us about your first appearance on the show. You were very nervous, I believe.
I was. It was kind of getting the better of me a little bit, but when we were in the makeup room, you came in, had a bit of a chat, a few jokes, and that put me really at ease. In fairness, I was
settled the nerves.
With the nerves, yeah.
And onwards and upwards from there.
Yeah, it was great. First time on TV at that stage back then, so it was.
And not your last. Sinead, come over here. Sinead, who have we got here?
We have Blahin, who is 4 months old.
4 months old, and I believe she's our youngest little fan. Well, one of our younger fans.
Indeed, yes. It's been great during the maternity leave watching Ireland AM in the morning, and you get up all hours of the night, and then you're kind of, oh look, there's a bit of content continuity there. You know, what's Deric going to be? Where is it going to be today during the weather?
And I believe she's met some celebs as well. Who's she met?
Well, she's actually met Mary Robinson and Foyne Arms and Hog, and she's just great crack. She comes places with me. The Galway Arts Festival is on not long after she was born, so she got to meet a lot of people.
And she's going for her first swimming lesson later on?
She's going for her second swimming lesson this afternoon,
She's gorgeous. All right, we'll have more here from Salt Hill in County Galway, but for me and all the gang, come on! Back to Dublin!
Welcome back. Do not adjust your sets. It is the five of us all together. It's been a lovely morning so far. We're going to have to do one bit of work a day. But all week we have been asking you, the viewers at home, to send in your favourite Ireland AM memories. And we have got a big trip to give away. It is a trip to Las Vegas. We're going to be giving that away in just a little while. But we've got a few runners up here. And this is one of our runners up whose favourite memory says, for me, it's 100% the interview with Vicky Phelan. What a brave and courageous campaigner she was, fighting so fiercely for women's rights to have information shared with patients, even while in such poor health. I often think of her, a young woman with a young family taken far too soon. The interview has stayed with me for years. I am currently attending St James's Hospital myself as a hemochromatosis sufferer, nothing like what Vicky endured, but it gives me a tiny glimpse of the struggle she had. Best of luck, keep up the good work on the important issues. And that comes in this morning from Michelle Kennedy. And Michelle, as we said, is going into St Vincent's all the time to deal with her hematomacrosis. So Michelle, we'd like to send you away a one-night B&B, including dinner in the Heritage in Killinard in County Laois. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you feel better very soon.
Enjoy your night away.
Amazing interview with Karen and Ciara. Amazing.
We do have another one, and this is one of my favourites as well. It is my all-time favourite memory was Alan Hughes, standard, when he went on the roller coaster ride. I still laugh thinking about his facial expressions. And his hair falling out.
I knew it was a wig.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're ready to do our song. No, I'm not ready to do your song. Are we ready? Okay.
Screaming?
Is that you or Brian Dowling screaming?
Both of us. You've really sold that roller coaster ride to people, haven't you? And you know, the thing was, they wanted us to do it again. I said, no, absolutely not getting on that again.
You look like Joan Rivers.
Was it during COVID, so you had to sit apart as well?
Just the things we did.
So it started well. You were clapping your hands.
We thought this was going to be great fun.
There were no hands up, though, as you hit the dips.
No.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, thank you
one.
for your text about that memory to Bernie Kerwin. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant memory. Loved it as well. So we're going to give you a little prize as well, a one-night bed and breakfast, including dinner in Knockranny, House Hotel and Spa in Westport. Look at that. Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Lovely County Mayo. So congratulations to you, Bernie. Thank you.
That's how your booking is. I'm here booked under.
I'm booked under Alan Hughes. Now, of course, we'll be announcing the winner of that fantastic Las Vegas trip at the end of the show.
And Martin will be doing his Elvis impression. Just to give us a bit of crack now. After the break, wait for it, we have the perfect comedic coupling.
Yes, Mario Rosenstock and Pat Short are joining us on the sofa. And we'll be seeing if we can get a word in edgeways between the two of them. See you back here in a few minutes.
Hello, welcome back to Ireland AM. This morning we are marking our 25th birthday, and it has been an eventful couple of decades for our next guest.
Yes, one's vocal acrobatics have made him a master of mimicry, while the other has gone from Craggy Island to Tinseltown as part of the Oscar-nominated Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, sure, he's won loads of acting awards himself. It is the wonderful Pat Short and Mario Rosenstock. Good morning, gents.
Morning.
I like the dress code. You're like, OK, we're just going to come together. Men in navy.
Marvel Avengers of presenters here. It's like
Hughes, King, Muireann. Not just 2, not just 3, 5. Assemble.
Guys, you're going to have to...
Yeah, but we're all assembled.
We're going to have to get them... Well, you're going to be doing something for us in a few minutes, but we're going to have to go back 25 years because you and John were one of the first guests on Ireland AM, Pat.
I couldn't believe that when I was told to, but I kind of vaguely remembered, all right, being asked to do a morning TV show.
You're like, what?
It's like, what? Yeah, exactly. Because like there was the first of its kind in Ireland. And look at the stage of us.
Look at the stage. You're with Amanda and Mark. What was it like? Because we'd never had a TV breakfast show. You must have been like, what are these lads at?
What are we doing in here this hour of the morning? I think John is looking at his watch there, probably saying that.
Need to get out of here. This is a bit bad. But like since then, it's kind of kept on going. Your careers, I think, with the Dumbelievables, I think it was.
That could have been one of our last performances on TV together.
Yeah,
because I think John got sick after that. But I remember doing a lot of TV on my own later that year, promoting a video or whatever we were doing. And then, look, I went on to do lots of different things after that, Killing Scully and. A lot of movies. I think Garage came about and all that kind of stuff. And then I've been lucky. I was actually in Luxembourg this week at a film festival, and I forgot Song of the Sea was an Oscar-nominated film as well that I was in with Brendan Gleeson and Lisa Hannigan and all the gang. So it was great. Yes, I got to do. That was a Luxembourg co-production. That's what the connection was there.
There's lots of other things that we remember. Tom in Ted. Is that who you get recognised for?
I used to go. I was talking about that. Ridiculous. It was funny. First time I was recognised in London, walking down the street, someone saying, "You're your man." And then I did a tour of Australia, and I was all around Australia, different, Brisbane and Sydney and Melbourne, and I had to do local radio interviews. And everyone thought it was funny to give me an Ice Shot JR t-shirt. So I came home with about 7 Ice Shot JR, and they were all original, every one of them.
It was ridiculously hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cameos in Father Ted were bizarrely spot on, including that one. I mean, but even when John Kenny did the Eurovision presenter and everything, bizarre.
So
incredibly funny.
I'd say many people are like on a night out going, can we just draw a unibrow there in your pants? It'd be great just to get the unibrow.
That was there.
Just to get it going. Oh, he keeps it well shaved.
The violence of this fella.
The pure violence. Well, because you started in acting as well. We've spoken about this before. Dr. David Hanlon.
Yeah, I wasn't as feral.
The dishy doctor in Glen Rowe.
Yeah,
we'd all be getting ready to go back to school, and there's the dishy doctor.
Dishy doctor. I'd be walking down the street, and Fidelma and Miley would be going, well, holy God. There he is again. And Fidelma would go, yeah, the dishy doctor. And I stiffly walk in and I go, hello, I noticed you earlier on. Oh my God almighty. My grandmother was so proud of me. My grandmother was so proud of me. She went, you're Ireland's Hugh Grant. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. With your floppy blonde hair. And that's how I learned my Michael D impression.
That's your Michael D?
Yeah, from my grandmother. And she went, listen, wonderful the way you appeared on television and your wonderful hair flopping around the place like Hugh Grant.
And your granny was Michael D.
She
was. Yeah, but half the impressions I do are kind of, as Pat would know from his brilliant work as an actor, you tap into various different things to do characters. So I regard them not as impressions, but as characters. So for example, I grew up on a farm, and when I started doing Gerry Adams, I really took it from a cow we had on the farm called Val. We had a cow on the farm called Val. And Val was a kind of a tame cow who, when I was 6 or 7, you could rub her on the nose. And
just like Gerry.
but I can only hear him.
You could rub the cow on the nose. And Val would go like this. And then I started going, So I based Gerry Adams on a cow in Waterford.
A satisfied cow.
A cow in Waterford because it had that deep thing. So you borrow things from it, and Pat would be there. I don't know how many cows he's used. But I'm sure when he played in Garage, when you see people in your neighbourhood.
You do.
You remember people from your youth, teachers in school, and you go, I think there's a bit of him in that.
When I did Garage, I was like a pervert. I followed a neighbour around the village. Because he had a dodgy walk. He was waiting for 2 hips to get done. And my character was supposed to was waiting for a hip operation. So I used to follow him down to Mass. Things like that.
Did you say it to him, or are you just always there?
He'd turn around and I'd be kind of looking the other way.
So you come out and the fella with no teeth and a nice shot JR t-shirt waiting for him outside.
Hey, your man, is he taking that?
Is he doing it? Well, I remember the last time you were here and we showed a clip of David Hanlon. And there was something about, you know, there was a dodgy, but you started bringing it on tour because you're celebrating 25 years of Gift Grub.
Yeah. That's right. So basically, Gift Grub has been on the radio 25 years this year. And so basically, to celebrate the occasion, I've put a new tour on sale. And so
you'll be following me around the country.
20 minutes ago, the tickets went on sale.
There we go. Right. Tickets on sale to Mario.
He got the plug in before me.
Well, he does.
Because
the knives are out.
I do characters on the radio, right? I'm reluctant to do comedians on the radio because comedians are already funny.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't do impressions of comedians generally. But I do impressions of some comedians, like, you know, Tommy and stuff, and the way he'd look at you like a Buddha from Connemara, and he'd be scorching your soul before he'd been asking you the question in his little, you know, cardigan there in his hat, you know. And I do Pat as well, but except with Pat, all we did with him is laugh. So I was like, OK, now it's Brendan O'Connor here. I'm going to Pat Short there for a second. Pat, how do you feel? And all you'd be doing is... You okay there, Pat? He's doing it now.
He's doing it now.
So we would do Pat with his uncontrollable laugh, and he's trying to get out his...
You can't respond to that.
Do you know what? We'll move. The response will be royalty. Will we? How about that?
Yeah, yes,
you were once asked by the Prince Albert of Monaco to sing Jumbo Breakfast
what happened?
Roll.
I won Best Actor in the Monte Carlo Film Festival, and
for Garage.
It's unlike, you know, we're used to like the big shows. You know what I mean? The Oscars and all that kind of stuff. You get up and say thank you very much to my agent and that kind of thing. But it was like a Las Vegas show. You know, Monte Carlo, casinos and all. So they came out in a big car, did a big orchestra there. And when eventually some Italian actors, like guys from The Sopranos and that, won awards, and they got up and they all sang in Italian. And then I came up and they said, I hear you have a very big song in Ireland. And I went, yeah, I do. Would you like to sing the breakfast? I said, no, I'd like to thank my agent. So when I was leaving the stage, he got an award for his mum, Princess Grace.
Yeah.
Grace Kelly.
Yeah. And he called me over and he says, when did you sing the song? I said, Aaron, you know, Jesus. I said, look, come down and meet Carla, my wife. So we were down chatting, and he says, look, you're going for the meal, aren't you? I said, yeah. He said, come up to the table, you can sing the song at the table for me. And I said, I will, of course, no problem at all. So we said, to hell, we go back to the hotel, myself and Caroline, because we'd no Italian or French. We're back in the hotel with the bottle popped open, with the award sitting on the press. Next thing, the phone rings. It was the people asking Prince Albert waiting for you at the table to sing the song.
To sing Jumbo Breakfast Roll.
I said, I'm in bed, I'm tired. Tell him I'll have to meet him the next time. I was nominated 2 years later.
Oh, no.
Wasn't I messing again?
Did you ever sing Jumbo Breakfast Roll for him?
No.
Yeah.
Do we have to do a bit of Jumbo Breakfast Roll right now?
No, we don't.
2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2. Come on.
2 eggs, 2 sausage, 2 rest, 2 bacon, 2 put one. Stacked like a tower on top of each other and round up. If you're having some tea, the milk's over there from sugar's in the bowl. Especially when you have some broth now.
I saw Prince Albert. He was at the Monte Carlo Tennis Open. And it was the Monte Carlo Open. It's played on clay. I'm a mad tennis fan, right?
Yeah.
And he was presenting the prize, and the guys said afterwards, Prince Albert, do you play tennis yourself? And he actually says, I do in my hole.
No.
And now it's all coming back to me why you said
that's why.
No,
You know why?
That's all happening.
Probably tapping away.
That's it.
Monte Carlo.
How would Alan Hughes say that if he was telling a story about...
You know, we're having a wonderful show coming up for you tonight, and it's very squally out there. I'm Buttons, you know. And tickets are on sale for Mario's panto. All around the country. Tommy, what are you doing? Okay. It's going to be rainy and squally, and I know nothing about weather, but who cares? I'm not a meteorologist. I'm a panto. Anyway, sorry about that.
What about Martin?
Oh, well.
Now, we had...
Even we had
a Martin off.
Hold on. Even... He sounds like this as well. Even Pat Short could do Martin. Anybody can do Martin. Anybody. Dermot Whelan does Martin.
Deirdre O'Kane.
Deirdre O'Kane does Martin. She does a female Martin. Because Martin is transing at the moment.
Well, don't you know?
I'm transing. Oh, transing.
Oh my God.
I'm a trans presenter. Don't fire me. That's unfair dismissal. I'm Martina King. Martina, please.
But on Tuesdays, that's different.
Okay.
Martin is a trans
We're going to
presenter.
have to...
We're a big happy family on TV. Oh, sorry, Virgin. Sorry, I nearly called it TV3. What happens to people who go to TV3, right? You start presenting the news 25 years ago and you all end up in Fianna Fáil. Which party are you joining? I know 5 years from now. Tonight, the news. Muireann O'Connell, TD, joins us. Minister for Boats. Muireann, what are you going to do about it?
I'll never tell you. Will you or do you hear? Muireann is the best minister for boats that I've ever had. And we've never had more boats in this country. And Limerick is full of boat shortages, thanks to Muireann O'Connell's very, very judicious running of the economy. And the way she's used that Apple budget, she's second to none, so she is.
Tickets are available for Pat Short's Knuckle Down at Mario Rosenstock's Gift Grub Live 25. They'll be touring the country, and for more, go to ticketmaster.ie.
So make sure that it's Knuckle Down. You didn't get anything. You didn't get to say anything there. You're going around the country with Faye.
We're starting tomorrow night, yeah, and off to London then next week. Doing London as well, sell-out show over there and back around the country, eventually, and all over the place. So.
Well, do you know what? It has been a pleasure having you in.
Oh, thank you.
Like we said, we wouldn't get a word in edgeways.
I loved that. I loved it.
Anyway.
Pat Short and Mario Rosenstock. Thank you both so much.
We're going to continue the 25th anniversary celebrations after this break.
But there you go. You are very welcome back to Ireland AM now. Her infectious laugh, he's suave, dance moves.
Yes.
And their joint charisma made them a dynamic duo on daytime telly.
Yes, it's this morning's presenters, Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary. Good morning to you guys. How are you? Oh,
good morning, Elaine.
Good morning. It's so lovely to see you, and thank you so much for joining us on our 25th birthday. But Alison, I have to say,
guys.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, guys. I mean, 25 years. Can you believe it? In 25 years.
You look younger now.
Yeah, we are. But Alison,
even look 25.
It's 10 and over there, Alan.
I'm telling you, Dermot. But Alison, you're not far behind us because, a bit like myself, you've been doing for 20 years and you've done everything. But is this your favourite bit now, sitting beside that Irish hunk?
I mean, yes, I'll be honest with you. This is one of those moments where you pinch yourself. Is this really real? Dermot O'Leary. I mean, he's such a pleasure to work with. But it's actually 22 years I've been in the business.
Is it right?
Let's get it right, babe.
How many years have you been on the screen?
22 years.
22 years.
22 years, yeah.
And it happened like 2 or 3 weeks after you left Big Brother, wasn't it?
No, it actually happened about 2 months after Big Brother. Yeah. But yeah, there was 2 months where I weren't working.
And that was it. And then you've been here ever since.
Yeah, I've been there ever since. I've loved it.
Oh my God.
I've warmed up.
Alison, I do have to ask you something now because we're looking here at a picture of ET of you talking to Harrison Ford, a notoriously grumpy, cranky individual, and you completely disarmed him. What is your secret? Because I don't know if I could deal with people like you. Look, you make them all happy. I can't have any look like that warming them up.
You can. The thing is, all you've got to remember is they're all just people, Bab. They're all people and they all want to laugh, they all want to smile. And that's what I think is the key, really. Just like, go in and have a bit of a laugh.
I love this.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, we got it
all about that.
I forgot about that. That was, look, we really went over the top with that one, didn't we? Showgirls.
Confetti now.
Do you know what? I love my job. I'm going to be honest with you. I love interviewing the celebrities. They are just so much fun because what you realise is they're just normal people. Do you know what I mean? So many people are like, oh, what's they really like? Well, they're just like you and me.
They want to be treated normally, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. They just want to be treated like... It's like you, isn't it? When I came here to the sofa and Dermot O'Leary's there, he just wanted me to be treated like how I treat everyone.
I don't want to be treated... No, I don't. I want to be treated...
Hang on a second.
I mean, because when you were...
He's quite needy.
When you were told you were going to be working together, you decided that Is it true, Dermot, you said, well, I'll go up and visit you and we go to your house, we might have a bit of lunch, but then you ended up in the local GP's office?
What did she do to you?
It's kind of a combination of both, to be honest. I went up, had lunch, and then Alison said, listen, we've got to go to the doctor.
My son's not well.
Says, you want to stay here? I was like, no, I want to come to the doctors. If I'm in, I'm in. There's a TV husband. That's also TV father.
Well, you do not want to go around my area with a Dermot O'Leary because literally we couldn't get anywhere. We literally had to stop every 5 minutes. Everyone was obsessed with Dermot. Like, they see me, they just walk past me and go, all right, Alison. Dermot O'Leary, they stop, they have a chat, they want a photo, they want autographs. You name it. Honestly, it was the longest day of my life.
I got some great prescriptions from that doctor, I tell you.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, Dermot, when you're in Ireland, they're obsessed with you as well, because I do believe you visit here quite frequently, as you were referred to earlier on, an Irish hunk, and you've been known to, I suppose, swing a bit of timber. Is it true that you go for a book about a bit of hurling from time to time?
Well, no, yeah. But so my dad is a big hurler. And still now will literally, like, I'll talk to him on the Sunday. I'm like, what are you doing today? He's like, oh, no, I'm down to watch the under-14 girls in, like, Camogie. Like, he will go to, if there's a game, he just wants to go and watch.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, he's obsessed. But he used to play for Wexford before he emigrated. So when I just finished doing this lovely show, Taste of Ireland, which comes out, there he is, just meeting him back in the day, which...
Dermot, are you looking at this picture? Alison, are you looking at this picture?
You can see the picture, it's gorgeous.
So when I came over, we had a bit of a knockabout with the Wexford team, with Lee Chin. It was just and some of the boys. It was so lovely.
Are you any good?
Well, Lee... So Chin has given me a few, like, tips, and my game got immeasurably better within, like, 5 minutes. But my dad was lightning. I still have people come up to me in Wexford when I go back. And I'm like... They go, oh, Dermot. I'm like, oh, hi, how's it going? Go on interview. Like, go on an autograph or something. And they go, no. I used to play hurling with your dad, or I saw your dad play hurling. And they, like,
Your dad's more famous than you.
Absolutely. He was such a good hurler back in the day.
You will have to bring Alison to Croke Park. I mean, a lot of people say to us that the key to a good show like that is the chemistry between you. And you two obviously have that chemistry. Was that there from day one? Did you just... No.
Fake it till you feel it.
Fake it till you feel it.
A lot of compromise.
Do you know what? He's just remember that, Dermot. He's done everything. All his presenting has been alone. Right? You've done a couple of shows with other people. But normally he presents on his own. I normally present on my own. So it's just getting to know somebody's beats, getting to know their rhythm. So, I mean, it took about 2 years, didn't it? Long time.
I'm working on it now.
We still don't get it, I'll be honest with you.
Do you know what it was? It was just like, we're very early doors. Like, we made each other laugh. And I think, probably about 3 or 4 months in. But we're really honest. Like, when we started, there's no, like, people aren't stupid, so they see through, like, forced chemistry. So we just as soon as we started, we were like, you know what, we're gonna get to know each other. And it was during lockdown. So we're gonna get to know each other on this sofa.
Like, apart like this, it was so far away.
But then as soon as we started, like, making each other laugh and knowing each other's nuances and beats and what we like and what we don't like, and also spending time outside the show.
Yeah.
That was kind of what did it.
Well, do you know what? You are brilliant together. And Dermot, next time you're over, do drop into Ireland DM. And Alison, you're welcome anytime here.
And 25 years, and I'm still getting used to that,
fella. I want to come on the show. I want to be with you two. I want to come and see what's going on. Maybe you could take me to Ireland.
Do it.
I don't know if you know, but I did do my DNA, and I am at 16% Irish, so... I am literally Irish, do you know what I mean?
Both of you are welcome anytime. The couch awaits. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll all be watching you in a few minutes.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye. Now, on to another couple who know each other. Yeah, they know each other very well over there. The chemistry between the three of them.
There's Martin Muireann and then Tommy, the third wheel today.
Yeah, I'm the third wheel between these two. They know each other's beats.
Well, we worked together for how many years?
They did.
A lot.
Aren't you great little couple? Alan Hughes, come on over here for a second.
Get over here. Come on, Elaine.
Come on, Elaine.
Come on over.
We are now celebrating someone who has been through all 25 years. Incredible. Mr. Alan Hughes, the main man, Sammy Sausages.
Here on day one and still here now. He's managed to cram a
lot in that time. So here's a reminder of just some of those.
God almighty.
Another man that scrubbed up this morning, Alan Hughes.
Well, thank you very much. The check's in the post. Morning. Morning. 3, 4.
I'm guessing you were the arty kid in school.
I was, yeah.
So come on, see the light on your face. Let it shine, just let it shine.
I have never in my life tried to take a woman's bra off. Afternoon tea, madam. Yes, please. Don't be laughing. Don't be laughing. They sell an ice cream called Big Boy.
Oh, Alan, you're such a child.
A foot-long Big Boy.
Swear to God. No, wait. Stop.
I designed this drink for my girlfriend. When did you first give it to her? This week.
No.
No. God.
What have I done?
Literally just flicking it. God almighty.
Let it shine, just let it shine.
Because I just want to know.
All right, sorry.
That. No way. I want you to be in my life for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?
Absolutely, yes.
We have been through marriages, births, deaths. You are my brother.
Ireland AM to me is family, and yeah, it's been great, and I've loved every minute of it. Whoa! If that was a metaphor for anything.
Well done. There you go. 25 years, man.
And you're not a natural blonde, I see.
As you can see. And Carl is here this morning.
Right
with
over
us.
there.
Carl said, popped in to say hello this morning as well, because...
there he is.
Yeah, there he is. 30 years. 30 years filming it all. There you go.
And he's still filming.
I'm still filming.
But you know, you have been with that, like, there's lots of laughs there, but you've done the sad story. Like, this show, you have covered every bit of it, haven't you?
We really have. And even the lifeboat thing there, that was like very serious thing. We went out, like jumping into the sea, covered it all. But I have to say, there's one person there, we saw Mark at the end, and like he was here for such a long time as well with Aidan and others. But Mark, a lot of people have been asking me about Mark. Mark's in great form. I was chatting to him during the week. And just unfortunately, he can't be here today, but he does send his love and best wishes to everybody. And yeah, it really has been 20 years. Yeah. So I've loved every minute of it, still loving it. And that's why we're still here and we're having the best fun. And thank you to all the viewers, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. So that's a big thank you to you.
We love you. We love you.
Now, after the break, one lucky viewer is winning a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Las Vegas. Martin, do it.
Here in just a few minutes.
Hello, you are very welcome back. Now, we have a number of people on standby because we have a birthday present to remember for one very lucky Ireland AM winner.
And they are very, very lucky. It's a whopper prize of a trip to Las Vegas, flights, accommodation, and a swanky helicopter tour of Sin City, all thanks to Aer Lingus. All you had to do was send in your favourite memory from Ireland AM.
OK, so there was a massive response to this. It was very hard to narrow down the finalists. So first up to share her Ireland AM memory is Aisling Bannahan. Good morning to you, Aisling. There you are.
Good morning, Aisling.
How are the nerves?
We're OK. Many congratulations on your 25th birthday.
Well, thank you so much. And I know you've watched us from the very start. Tell us why you wrote in your Ireland AM memory.
I wrote it in because I've been meaning to write in for over 25 years, actually. I was with you from the very start of the programme. I was in Tala Hospital with my 3-month-old daughter, and she was getting her first kidney operation. And I remember we had to go in early that morning, and I was in this waiting room with her, and she was snuggled into me. And, you know, you're trying to keep it focused and not to worry or anything like that. And next of all, Ireland AM came on and the opening credits came on. And this big sunrise came up from the opening credits. And Mark Cagney was there. And I used to listen to Mark Cagney all the time on the radio. And I was saying, oh, it's a familiar face. It's a familiar voice. And it was just so comforting.
And I suppose it's almost like having a friend to talk to because your daughter is 25 now. She's thriving. She's living abroad. Tell us about her.
She's doing great. Her name is Quiva and she's over in Manhattan now. And she's in sales and marketing. And when I say she's a trooper, she got through all her operations. It was over 14 years of them each year. And, you know, she's so resilient. We're so proud of her. We're so proud of our son as well. But Quiva just, you know, when she puts her head down to something, she goes for it. And, you know, Ireland AM was there every single time we went in the mornings to the hospital. It was always on and it was just so familiar to us as well and comforting.
Oh, it's amazing. So many people have said that, you know, we're a part of their lives through thick and thin, through the good and the bad days as well. Quiva, she's alive, she's well, she's flying it over in New York at the minute now. Do you get to go and see her at all? Does she get to come home?
Not yet. She can't get home yet. She's waiting on that part of her green card to come through. However, I've been over a few times to her. So that's lovely as well to go over and visit her as well.
Now, Aisling, we do have a bit of news for you because, of course, the fact that you can't see Quiva as much as you'd like to. I know you miss her dreadfully and she can't come back. But, you know what, how would you like to take a little trip stateside to see her, perhaps?
Oh,
because
my God. Yeah,
we would like to tell you, live on Ireland AM on our 25th anniversary, you have won our top prize for our winners. Congratulations. So you're going to be seeing her sooner than you thought. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It was so touching. It meant so much to us.
How much does it mean?
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I really am. Thank you so much, guys. You really don't know how much this means to me. Really, honest to God.
And thank you for being such a loyal
so
viewer.
much. And I know your daughter.
Thank you for being there for us.
Your daughter, Quiva, wrote in a lovely letter talking how special you are as well. Listen, thank you so much. Get yourself over to Vegas. Enjoy the Las Vegas trip. Have a great party on us. Thank you so much for getting in touch.
Woo! Celebrations! Now, it's over to you, Muireann, Martin and Alan.
Oh, God, that was so
brilliant.
gorgeous. Congratulations,
Absolutely
Aisling. We
gorgeous.
have received another message from a loyal viewer. One and only Uachtaráin na hÉireann,
Yes.
Michael D. Higgins, who says, may I congratulate all of the presenters and staff, past and present, of Ireland AM on reaching the significant milestone of the programme's 25th anniversary. As Ireland's second longest running chat show, Ireland AM has provided a quarter of a century of public service broadcasting to viewers all across the island. As President of Ireland, may I extend my best wishes to all those associated with the show and all of its dedicated audience on this very special occasion. Gurv Míle Mágat, Michael D. We really do appreciate
very
it.
special.
Absolutely.
And recognising our public broadcasting service.
It is.
It's very nice.
We're in front of the camera here. We just want to let you know there are people behind the screens that we are looking at right now.
Wouldn't
Deric has
happen
been here
without
for
them.
over 20 years.
They do all the hard work.
People in the gallery. Mo is directing us every single morning. We appreciate all of the teams that put this show together. They are unbelievable. And all of the presenters who have sat here. They've been amazing.
There's been a few of them.
There's been a few. Now let's do a test. Alan, name them all.
Have you got an hour?
Thank you, though, for sending in your messages. We had one winner, obviously, win that trip to Vegas, but we have had a week full of unbelievable memories. And bring it back, like, I'm only here a couple of years and I forget some of the stuff. But for your 25 years, unbelievable. Thank you so
And we
much
look forward
for
to the next one. That's a wrap on our 25th birthday celebrations. All week we've been learning just how generous the viewers of Ireland AM have been throughout those years.
You've changed lives by donating millions to communities and supporting. Thank you so much for watching for 25 years.
Thank you. Happy birthday to us.